What's up, everybody? RMJ Movie Reviews back again. This movie is actually not part of my Christmas movie reviews, but I just decided I'm on vacation from work. So, what better thing to do when you're chilling on your day after work than to go catch a flick, just to let your mind relax. I'm going to be bringing you top 5 starring and written by and directed, by Chris Rock, starring Rosario Dawson, a whole slew of classic and up-and-coming comedians, character actors. Let me just tell you, I love top 5. This movie was fantastic. And what I really loved about it, it tells the simple story of Chris Rock, who plays a comedian who was, very famous comedian. He did a couple of really highly successful blockbustery type of movies, but, he fell into alcohol addiction and, all these kind of other pitfalls of fame. He's fallen off. Now he doesn't want to be the actor comedian that he once was in the past. He wants to be serious now, and nobody wants to take him seriously. So the whole movie is about how he's dealing with, coming back into his own, and just dealing with how his life has changed from what he once used to be. This movie's fantastic. I love the fact that it tells just the story of kind of what these celebrity entertainers go through. You know what I mean? Because you can't be on top forever. There's gonna be a point where you eventually drop off, and I think it's really, the movie's hysterical, and I love how it really shows how, flat out, I'm just gonna keep it real and say, who I believe, I know Chris Rock, in interviews, he hasn't really said that this is based on any particular comedian. In my personal opinion, I believe that this is Eddie Murphy. That's what I really think. I really think this comedian that Chris Rock plays in the movie is based on Eddie Murphy, because pretty much almost everything he does in the movie, minus the kind of cheesy slave movie, it's pretty much verbatim how Eddie Murphy's career went. How Eddie Murphy was at the height in the 80s, and then when he did like Harlem Nights and Another 48 Hours and all that, pretty much by the time he did Beverly Hills Cop 3, Eddie Murphy was done. From about 1990 to 1994, Eddie Murphy was just gone. Coming to America was the pinnacle, and he was done. But this movie is absolutely hysterical. And what I love is, again, like I said, I like it 80s and 90s. The comedy is adult and raw. This doesn't pussyfoot around and make it some type of PG crap. This is adult hardcore comedy. Matter of fact, I would even say that top 5 is very, very much a throwback to 80s and early 90s black comedy. You know what I mean? And I don't mean just starring black actors. What I mean is those movies that were directed by black comedians. Keenan Ivory Wayans, Eddie Murphy when he did Harlem Nights. Goodness, who else can I? Guys, I'm sorry. For some reason, I just strangely drew a blank. But even Reginald Hudlin and all those guys, he's not a comedian, but this really is a throwback to black films directed by black directors of the 80s and the 90s, and an ensemble of anything that you would have seen from Reginald Hudlin or Mario Van Peebles or I'll throw his name in there, or even Spike Lee. You know what I mean? This is really fantastic. You had oh man, this movie's funny, man, and it contains a good balance of kind of just telling the story of the human characters, just flatly telling the story, no stupid wink wink. And that's one of the things I'm sorry, my review is all over the place, but I really enjoy the movie. But one of the things that I really like is that you can really tell, and I'm not trying to get on the racial train, but you can really tell when a movie is directed by a black person or a black comedian, because when you have, I'll give an example because I used White Man Can't Jump a little while ago, right? Okay, White Man Can't Jump was directed by a white guy, okay? Ron Shelton, I think is his name, if I said it right. But even in that movie, yeah, you've got Wesley and you've got all these brothers on the court, but it I don't want to use the word blackness, but that's really kind of more of just a guy bonding kind of thing. Top 5 really specifically has the sense of humor that black people have when we're amongst each other. When it's black people in private, the scene that I love is the scene where they're talking about the top 5 rappers and Chris Rock goes to visit his relatives, and that is pretty much, honestly, how, at least when I'm around like my relatives in private, that is how we joke with black people. We joke amongst each other in that, and even there's some stuff where, you use the N-word, regardless of the harsh reality that we should use the N-word and the N-word won't go away. Us as black people, when we are amongst each other, see, my thing is, yes, I use the word when I'm around my friends, you know what I mean, my friends of color and stuff, and it's just us in the private view. I don't like to be out in front of like people with different cultures and different races using the N-word. I just don't like to promote that. But amongst us in our circle, it's very much depicted the way it is in that apartment scene. It's fantastic. I can't go on. I just love that the story really, it's a really human story, kind of about how people feel when you just have that loss of being the greatest that you were, and you lose something, you know what I mean, and then trying to find your sense of identity, where you belong. Does this person love me? Are these people my friends? Or, kind of stuff that people struggle with. It's just that the guy's an entertainer. But this movie has the perfect balance of just spot on, just comedy and there's scenes where they're not cursing or anything. They're just being funny, man, and just coming with these weird, crazy humor. Where like Tracy Morgan says, "I'ma flip the apple pie," and then old girl from Saturday Night Live was like, "Well, your fat ass look like you just ate one." You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy stuff like that, man. And then you got Cedric the Entertainer, who is insane in this. He's in the movie for a couple minutes. I'm not gonna give away the scene, but it's hysterical, man. You got reality TV stars who make cameos, and it's not just black comedians from the past and up and coming. You got everybody. Okay, spoilers, cut off if you don't want to hear the rest. Jerry Seinfeld pops up. They might have shown it in the previews, but Jerry Seinfeld, Whoopi Goldberg, Adam Sandler pops up. DMX has a cameo here, which is stupid hilarious, man. DMX is totally insane, and Chris Rock fully plays up DMX's insanity, because all of us know, I used to listen to DMX when he first came out in high school, and DMX kind of does these things where he'll start going, "And the Lord is with me, he starts doing that whole thing, and Chris Rock has this look on his face that is hysterical. You're like, DMX is insane, and they're in jail, right? And you can hear the prisoners in the background like, "Shut up." It's crazy, man. And it's just, oh my God. And there's a moment with Rosario Dawson, I won't spoil that one, something that they reveal about her character and a boyfriend that's it's hysterical. It's hysterical. And then I love the various news radio personalities in New York City that they show. They got everybody in this movie. And I'm almost guaranteed that this probably wasn't a big budget movie, but you can tell all the folks who show up in this movie, they were really behind Chris Rock and they really supported him. This movie's fantastic. It's funny. It's a straightforward story. I love the fact that they're not gawking it up and Samboing for the screen. I mean, I know we like to think that kind of era is over, but I think if this movie would have been handled by